Hi, this is Dr. Gagnon, CEO of Human Fusion. Hope you're doing well. In the last video, we talked about organizational health and starting to look at, does your company need an appointment with the doctor? And the McKinsey report, September 2017, looked at this phenomenon of organizational health. And in the last video, we talked about the definition, some of the benefits. There's very strong benefits, both from a cultural standpoint and from a financial standpoint, of looking at organizational health. Now, in this video, we're going to look at specific management practices that drive these outcomes, that drive these companies to become more healthy throughout the organization. And there's 9 broad categories. The top 3 are 4 times more important than the bottom 2. And then in the middle, you have practices that are 2 to 3 times more effective. So I'll let you know when we get to each of those categories. The biggest one is the biggest organizational outcome is under the category of direction. Management practices here are shared vision, a very strong strategic clarity on where you're going, and employee involvement in those types of things. So it reminds me of Jim Cousey's, inspire a shared vision. It also reminds me of Daniel Goleman's authoritative leadership style, which had the most impact on morale, and that was the leader who could paint the clearest vision of where your company was going. So if you're going to spend time on something, maybe that's where you spend your time. The second one here in this category is innovation and learning. Management practices here is looking at both from top down and bottom up innovation. So ideas are coming from everywhere, and knowledge sharing is very, very important in this particular category. The third one in this category is called leadership, where you have very strong, authoritative, consultative leadership, supportive and challenging leadership. So very, very strong leaders taking control of the organization. Okay, so that's the top tertile, I guess. The middle tertile, here's 4 different ideas. So one is control and coordination. This is where you have a very strong operational, financial, and risk management system. And you look at people and their performance very, very carefully and very tactically. That's the top one there in this category. Capabilities is next, where you look at and focus on talent acquisition and talent development. Motivation is next, looking at inspirational leadership, career opportunities, financial incentives, rewards and recognition, those types of things. And then the last one in this middle section is called work environment, where we have a very trusting and open environment. Psychological safety is high. It's very internally competitive, probably in a fun way, but internally competitive, and then very operationally disciplined. So those 4, coordination and control, capabilities, motivation, and work environment, are 2 to 3 times more effective. Now, these last 2 are effective, but just not as powerful. And one is accountability, where you have very strong role clarity, performance contracts, consequence management, and personal ownership are key drivers and key management practices here. And the final one is external orientation. So capturing external ideas, being very customer focused, have very good competitive insights, and have good business and government relationships outside of your organization. All right, those are the key management practices. I know that's a lot of information to take in. Maybe you review and kind of go back over the video. But those are the key management practices that drives the outcomes that leads to organizational health. And in the next video, we'll talk specifically about some strategies that they employ in the article. If you like management-related videos like this, please subscribe to Human Fusion, and we'll keep you up to date on all the latest trends that affect you as a manager and your management practice.